Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I finally want to get to some NFL mock drafts. I haven't done any up until this point, and I think the draft's next month, so I wanted to start to get a few mock drafts in, try and do some mocks. So let's get into it here. So with the first pick, with the Chicago Bears, I think they'll end up trading Justin Fields at some point, whether it's sometime later this month or later through March or maybe on draft day, who knows. I think they'll end up trading him, and they'll select Caleb Williams out of USC with the number 1 pick. I'm kind of skeptical with Caleb Williams because, he's played good against the bad teams throughout his career, but once he's played that good competition, he's kind of struggled as Caleb Williams. A bad record against above 500 teams. A little skeptical. I know it's because USC's defense is bad. Don't get me wrong. Their defense was horrible last year. It's just Caleb Williams hasn't played that good against those great teams compared to the bad teams. But before I get to maybe the bad about him, I'll give some good things. I'll say some good things. He has great mobility to extend plays at the next level. I mean, he has 3 straight years of great production. At Oklahoma and USC, some great production. He has the arm talent to hit any throw and the potential to be a top 3 arm in the NFL throughout his career. He shows great accuracy while still throwing in the run. He has great accuracy on the run. He demonstrates the ability to check the ball down if asked to play conservative. He does a good job keeping his eyes down the field the entirety of plays. Sometimes he'll make some bad decisions, but it's not he doesn't consistently make bad decisions. It's rarely great throwing mechanics, pick apart both man and zone coverage at a high level. Those are some good things. The bad I'll say is I'm not going to say choose to not participate in the combine besides interviews and skip the medical examination, because honestly I don't really care about that. I mean, they primarily play in the shotgun, which could be a concern, which may be a hard transition to more under center offense. And a worrisome amount of plays came from out of the structure of the offense. Those are a few bad things, but I'll just say a few bad things. I mean, he's had some injuries, he's had 2022 had a hamstring injury, and in 2023 a right pinky finger injury, so he's had a few injuries, but he's not too much of a concern. Won the 2022 Heisman Trophy, Maxwell Award, Walter Camp Award, the AP College World Player of the Year, while being unanimous All-American. So, few things about him. Sometimes he drops some snaps, but he somehow turns them into a highlight reel. But I'll say he'll be the number 1 pick, but those are some good, some bad. When I have Caleb Williams going 1. Number 2, the Commanders will take Drake May out of North Carolina with the 2nd pick. With the 2nd pick. Desperately need a quarterback. I don't think Sam Howell will be their future quarterback. They really need to build throughout the offensive line in this offseason. Maybe get some in the draft as well, maybe some late round offensive linemen. And because they got some receivers, good talent, some solid talent, like Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. But there's still some good receivers in this draft class they can pair with Drake May. So they desperately need a quarterback. Drake May's a really good athlete. I saw some hate for Drake May this offseason. I don't get why. I saw Ken Benkert got cut from the Packers practice squad. Could he make the NFL? Said he's the less athletic Mason Rudolph. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's a really good athlete. Has an arm talent. I know his last season at UNC, the last bit wasn't too good, final few games, but still great prospect, at least to me. Number 3, the Patriots select Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. They really need a big playmaker, and I would have took a quarterback here. I just don't know. I have a feeling Marvin Harrison Jr. is too good to pass up past 3. I don't know, but I'll select Marvin Harrison Jr. because the Patriots really need a big-time playmaking receiver, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best receiver in college football last year. I think he has good potential to be one of the top, maybe 5 receivers as his career goes on. But I'll have him go to the Patriots. Number 4, I think the Cardinals will take an offensive lineman here. Wawa. I'm not part of the nerd community, don't know how to say that name. Fashanu out of Penn State. Probably the best offensive tackle in this class, either him or Joe Alt. The Cardinals need to start building that, building that offensive line. So I think I'll have them taking Fashanu. The Chargers, I think it's going to be an obvious pick. I think they're going to take Brock Bowers, a tight end out of Georgia. They really need a tight end. And with the way, Jim Harbaugh's now on the team, run his offense, I think they'll take Brock Bowers because they desperately need a tight end. And Brock Bowers has been good throughout his whole career at Georgia. I think he'll go top 5. The Giants, number 6 here, I think take Dallas Turner out of Alabama, an edge rusher. I think Dallas Turner's a solid player. He has a pretty good combine. He's really fast, ran a 4.46. And he's a defensive difference maker. Like, he's just a big time difference maker. And their top need side from quarterback has addressed their pass rush. Like, they have their top 2 pass rushers from 2023, Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree hitting free agency. And with now Raheem Morris in town, they can grab a defensive superstar because Dallas Turner's a really athletic edge, really fast, and he can be a difference maker. Number 7, I think the Titans will take Joe Alt, offensive tackle under Notre Dame, to beef up their offensive line to help Will Levis because he got injured toward the end of the year. Could have been really bad. So the Titans need to build up their offensive line. I think that this is a start, getting Joe Alt. Or excuse me, I was talking about the Giants at 6, taking Dallas Turner. The Falcons pick at 8. Dale Face. Yeah, I was basically talking about Giants really can use another pass rusher. As for the Falcons at 8, I'll have them take Malik Neighbors. Receiver, they really need a dynamic playmaker. So, Malik Neighbors, I think I'll take at 8 here for the Falcons. Number 9, Romeo Dunze for the Bears at 9, out of Washington. Debatably one of the best receivers last year, Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think he can really make a big impact with DJ Moore in that Bears offense. So I think the Bears will have a good draft here, taking Caleb Williams and Romeo Dunze in the top 9 picks. Number 10, I think the Jets will take offensive tackle J.C. Latham out of Alabama. I know it's a bit early. They really need to get an offensive lineman to build to protect Aaron Rodgers. So I think they'll take him. Number 11 out of the Vikings, taking J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. Like I said, I don't think J.J. McCarthy's a top first-round quarterback, but he's projected there. All the media loves J.J. McCarthy. I think the Vikings will let go Kirk Cousins and take J.J. McCarthy. I don't think J.J. McCarthy should go this high, but the media loves him. For some reason, NFL teams do, so I think J.J. McCarthy goes at 11 here. Number 12, the Broncos take Jaden Daniels out of LSU. I think they'll take Jaden Daniels. I think he's better than J.J. McCarthy, but for some reason, I guess the media loves J.J. McCarthy more than Jaden Daniels. But the Broncos will get a good quarterback here. Really good threat in the passing and running game, so the Broncos are getting a good guy, throw deep down the field, really fast. So, yeah, that's that pick. For the Raiders, I have them taking Quinion Mitchell, a cornerback out of Toledo. Number 14, I have the Saints taking Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. Need to protect Derek Carr, who got injured a few times last year. Number 15, I have the Colts taking wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. I have LSU, 3 LSU players get selected in the top 15. So give me Brian Thomas Jr. here at LSU to the Colts to pair him up with Michael Pittman Jr. Number 16, I have the Seahawks selecting Terrion Arnold out of Alabama, the first corner I have going off the board. And then number 17, I have cornerback Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. So these are the first 2 cornerbacks I've going off the board. Most of the early talent I think will be offensive players, and most will be towards the defense. Most will probably be defensive players towards the end. At least that's how I think the draft will go. The Bengals 18 here take Amarius Mims out of Georgia, an offensive tackle. They gotta somehow get that off the line good. If not, Joe Burrow's gonna get injured a lot. The Rams, I think, will take an edge rusher, Jared Verse out of Florida State. The Rams need to improve their defense. If they can improve their defense, coming out of this draft and throughout the off season, free agency, they're already has schedule. Their defense is gonna get better. So I think they'll take a good start here with Jerry Burris and edge rusher, and have him and Aaron Donald on that defensive line. Number 20, I have the Steelers taking defensive tackle Johnny Newton out of Illinois. Very agile for his size, very agile. Number 21, I have the Dolphins taking an edge, Latu out of UCLA. The Eagles have them taking cornerback Cooper DeJean out of Iowa, the white cornerback. But anyways, yeah, he's a great corner, and the Eagles really need secondary help, and I think Cooper DeJean will be the perfect corner. I think can at least somewhat help their secondary. Number 23, I have the Texans taking an edge rusher with Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Pair him up with Will Anderson Jr. They're gonna have a really good young defensive line. For the number 24, I have my Dallas Cowboys taking Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, a center. Because I feel like we'll need some offensive line help. Because some of our good guys are getting old, like Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. So we'll need draft some offensive linemen for the future. Number 25, I have the 49ers taking offensive lineman Troy Fautanu out of Washington. Number 26, I have the Buccaneers taking Graham Burton out of Duke, a guard. Number 27, I have the Cardinals taking a cornerback, Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Number 28, I have the Bills taking wide receiver Xavier Worthy out of Texas, who ran that 4.21 40. But I think he's a very good receiver, and they really need to get a second receiver, so not all the attention's on Stephon Diggs, if he's coming back there, which I think he is. Number 29, the Lions, I have them taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, a cornerback out of Alabama. They desperately need cornerback help, and I think Kool-Aid McKinstry can be their top corner instantly. Number 30, I have the Ravens taking defensive tackle Byron Murphy II out of Texas. Number 31, I have the Packers taking Tyler Nubin, how you say his last name, not part of the nerd community, out of Minnesota. And the last pick, I have Keon Coleman to the Chiefs at number 32, the last pick of the first round, out of Florida State. Because I think Keon Coleman, probably earlier in the year, he could have been a middle round pick, but he kind of dropped to like a late second round pick. But I'll have him going with the last pick in the first round. Chiefs need up their receiving corps. They've released Marquez Valdez-Scantling, so I think they'll get receiving in the draft. I think they'll take Keon Coleman. But yeah, that's my 1.0 mock draft. I'll probably do some more of these. I don't know, but we'll see. So until next time, peace. Leave your thoughts, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Until I'm out, peace. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.